Good morning, it's me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot, and we are about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our outside world. So in our interactions with one another, in our environment, in our ability to be able to have and do and be the things we want to have and do and be, we really have to work on shifting the energy inside of us. In today's reading, on Wednesdays, we focus on removing obstacles. So we look at whatever obstacle is standing in our way in progressing on our spiritual journey, and we look at what influenced in the past, how it's manifesting currently, and what we can do to release it, and then what we can expect if we do release it. And then we'll take a look at oracles to get some support in the release process. All right, let's get started. We're going to start today, I guess, with Divine Feminine, because I'm leaning in that direction. And at first when I pulled her cards, so I can't see the cards that are in the 6 card spread, but I can see the top and the bottom of the deck. So when I first pulled her cards, I was like, how is that her obstacle? So I'm definitely going to have to channel. But it's starting to come to me as I'm looking at it here. So first, let's take a look at the general energy for Divine Feminine before we get into her obstacle. So generally speaking right now, when we take a look at her head and her heart space, what we're seeing is leadership and King of Wands energy in the head space, and the Hanged Muse in the Muse Tarot. So this is the Field Tarot I'm using for head space, Divine Feminine, and this is the heart space for Divine Feminine. And we're getting the Hanged Muse in reverse. So the general energy for Divine Feminine is pretty good. She's in her masculine worth energy in terms of taking action and doing the things she wants to do, which is really excellent news for her. There's a lot of passion that she has right now for the work that she's doing, for the relationships in her life, for her spiritual journey itself. She's very passionate about it and really wanting to take action and do things. And her heart is releasing any type of stuck energy, any type of energy where she's just kind of suspended herself, and really is allowing her to kind of make this motion forward now with a lot of intention and power in this King of Wands energy. Also, I apologize for the fan noise, but it is like 79% humidity today, and I'm like, the fuck is this noise? Like, I moved from the East Coast, honey. I do not need this humidity. Not cute. All right, let's take a look at her obstacle. This is the obstacle Divine Feminine face. Like I said, when I first pulled the cards, I was like, what? But now I can see so clearly what it is. The first card in the headspace, the first obstacle, hello, is harmony itself, spiritual fulfillment, the 10 of Cups. And you must be thinking, as I was thinking when I first saw this card, how can the 10 of Cups, how can her spiritual fulfillment be an obstacle right now? And it's because of this heart space card, which clarifies the obstacle for us. We have the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Inspiration from the Muse Tarot. And look at the movement here. There's all of this movement that's pushing through whatever has kept them stuck or whatever, but it's not quite breaking through. You can see that it's happening, but there's not been this moment yet where there's this break. So her spiritual fulfillment, she's feeling this forward motion through it, and it's not quite there yet. And what is happening is this is a card about sending messages. Her obstacle is that she is trying to use her own messages, like her own communication, to try to achieve this spiritual fulfillment instead of receiving messages. Because remember, the Divine Feminine needs to be in the receptive mode, but she's in this action mode. She's in masculine worth energy. She's the one that's making moves. And this is her obstacle. She needs to stop making moves, which is kind of an interesting thing. So let's take a look at it to go a bit deeper. The first position that we're going to look at is, where did this obstacle originate? We have the headspace, we have the Ace of Wands, which in the Field Tarot gives us the word energy. And then we have the Five of Voices, which is a card like the Five of Swords energy, which is a card about battling and defeat and walking away. So this obstacle of her really trying to be the one that achieves this outcome instead of allowing it in a more receptive mode. And also, I think, resisting this forward motion to leave the place where she's been, kind of resisting it. It's come from this defeated energy she has in regards to her desire. She's feeling like, I'm never gonna get this. I want this. I wanted this spiritual harmony, this obstacle, and I'm just completely defeated. Like, I'm never gonna get what it is that I desire. So this is where this block originates from. So her trying to be the one that sends messages and manipulates the outcome of the spiritual fulfillment, not allowing surrender to the divine, right? Resisting surrendering this to the divine. This is really an obstacle for her. How is this currently manifesting in the 3D? Oh my God. We're getting the Muse of Inspiration, aka the King of Wands. So the current energy that we're looking at, and we're saying, how is this currently manifesting? Here you go. Her fears that she won't get what she wants, her fears of defeat, are causing her to go into this King of Wands energy, which is off-putting in this current situation. And there might be anger, jealousy, there could be shadow here, but it's really just about her like trying to do things, trying to make the situation work. And then we have in the headspace the Seven of Wands in reverse, which says Valor. So she's basically she's not standing her ground against this King of Wands energy. So if there's anger, jealousy, and stuff coming from a masculine energy towards her, she's really kind of not standing her ground against it, or her own anger, jealousy, passion, and like her need to make things happen, make these changes happen, that in and of itself is causing her to lose this battle against herself. She's also feeling like she doesn't want to fight anymore. She doesn't want to fight. So currently she's kind of feeling like sickened by this, just sort of like, ugh, I don't want to be defending these actions that I'm taking against myself. You know, these things I'm doing that are not serving me, I don't want to do that anymore. So that's like the overwhelming feeling of her current, like in the material world, how she's feeling right now. What will help remove this obstacle? In the headspace, this is the Page of Cups energy. So allowing yourself to just be in that space of true love and appreciation and innocence, and in this the place believing in your dreams as well. Really believing in your dreams that you can achieve these dreams, that true love for something or someone in and of itself, it's in alignment. And so if you remain in this state of true love for whatever it is, for your career, for this person, for this thing you're trying to manifest for yourself, it's the best actually, just for yourself, you'll be able to remove this urgency that you're feeling to try to control things. And the Tower. And this is about releasing the things that do not serve you. So what will help you remove it? There's also the potential here that you need to offer an apology, or you need to receive an apology. But however that's resonating for you, if you've been the one that's been in this King of Wands, taking action, pushing, this is pushing. Look at this. Pushing, being pushy. You might need to apologize for your behavior. You also might need to receive an apology from this King of Wands that maybe hasn't been fighting for you, or fighting for what it is that you desire, that has just kind of accepted defeat in terms of this desire. That's your own energy, right? It's like you want this thing, but you feel defeated, and so you're just kind of feeling like you're not even willing to fight for it anymore. And so there could be just this apology that needs to be rendered to the self as well. But trusting in your dreams, trusting in true love, being heart-centered, and really releasing what doesn't serve you, the things that have caused you, anything that you think you might be clinging to, which might even be security. You might be clinging to security, and you kind of have to let that go. You don't have a lot of security when you start something new, whether that's a new romance, a new iteration of a romance with somebody that's come back, a new job, a new project. You kind of just have to deal with the discomfort of starting something new and practicing until it's perfect type of a thing, right? Who or what should I release to move on? Okay, so we saw the Tower. The Tower is like, if you want to remove this obstacle, you have to release something. You have to be heart-centered. You have to be in your innocence. Now, who or what do we need to release? In the headspace, we're getting the Nine of Wands in reverse. So this is either who or what kind of behavior. So the Nine of Wands in reverse. This is resistance. This is also a lack of resilience, a lack of persistence and perseverance. Hello, good morning. So you need to release. I hate how this. Go away. There we go. You need to release the tendency to feel that you aren't resilient, to feel like, I get this sense of just being really sick of this right now. Really sick of it. And not so enthusiastic about working on deep wounds. There's a sense here that's like, I've done that. And it's not done anything for me, which is super inaccurate. It's done a lot for you. But what it didn't do is bring you your heart's desire, because you weren't ready for it, right? So your heart's desire is this very specific thing. And when we're so focused on that specific thing, we have a tendency to miss all of the things that we have achieved by doing this work in order to receive this one thing. Because we're like, well, I didn't get that thing yet. And you're completely ignoring all of the fucking progress you've been making, all of the amazing things you've done, because you didn't get this one thing. So there's a resistance here to continuing this deep healing, because you feel a little bit like you can't see the return on your investment yet, and you're impatient about it. So this is the behavior you need to release. Stop resisting this. Continue to do this deep healing work. Let me tell you something. You're not ready yet for the thing that you want. How do I know that? I'm looking at it. And you're here. If you weren't here today, you would be doing the thing that you are trying to manifest. But you're not. So you still have deep healing that needs to be done. You also need to release the tendency to isolate and hide yourself. It's funny because I feel that you're accusing divine masculine energy of this, forgetting about the fact that when you come here, good morning, Cheryl, that when you come here to me, what we are looking at is your own energy. So you're thinking like, oh, the masculine energy is isolating and hiding. Okay, well, why are you doing that, feminine? Because feminine, you are not just feminine. You are a combination of feminine and masculine. So you need to stop hiding. You need to come out of isolation. You need to resist this. You need to release a resistance to doing healing work. But you also want to be doing this with others. You want to be not alone and by yourself anymore. And in the heart space, we have the 7 of voices, or the 7 of swords from the Muse tarot. And again, this is about the hiding, masking quality. You need to release this behavior to hide. And it's funny because I see this energy, this block. Here's your obstacle, the 10 of Cups, wild, and the 8 of Wands, which is this pushing, trying to push this result, sending your own messages, sending your own, trying to manipulate this and make this happen, right? And it's through this, it's almost like you're hiding behind this King of Wands behavior. You're like, oh, if I don't have a King of Wands, I'm going to act like the King of Wands, and I'm going to take this into my own hands. Which is appropriate sometimes, but right now, it's your obstacle. Right now, this pushing to this harmony, trying to make harmony happen, instead of allowing it to happen, or good morning, Kylie, or just receiving it, is a really big obstacle for you. So, you're strategizing, trying to be clever, trying to figure out exactly how to get this thing. Stop. It's not your job to figure it out. It is not your job. You need to surrender this energy. It's really stifling you. So release the masking, the strategizing, the resistance to healing, the isolation. Oh shit. There's something to know about the cards that are coming up. Okay, what can I learn from this current pause? The first thing we're learning in the headspace is the Emperor in reverse. We can learn how to release our stubborn rigidity, our desire to control the outcome. This is right underneath this King of Wands and this 7 of Wands in reverse, which is like that feeling of not wanting to fight anymore against this energy, not fighting anymore against this control, not trying to control yourself. That's a big one. This is what you are learning. You are learning that you cannot control spiritual fulfillment. It is not your job. Your job is to receive spiritual fulfillment by following inspiration and aligning with love. Harmony comes inside of yourself. You are still feeling like you can, if you push hard enough, if you send the right messages, if you just can get this to move in the direction that you want it to go, it's gonna be the way you want it. And that's not how it works. You are also learning, I can't make it up, the Chariot in reverse. These are 2 cards about relinquishing control. This one is about chaos. And that when you're trying to drive, girl, I know you think you're a good driver. Honey, you might be a good driver on the 405, okay? Or, I-90 if you're on the East Coast and you don't refer to it as a personification of a highway. You might be good at driving. I'm not calling you out for driving. Maybe you're fine at that. But this doesn't look like you're good at driving the situation right now. What are you doing it? You're driving it to a grinding halt. You're pushing this Emperor away. What does this divine masculine energy need to do if you're do for you if you are in the shadow traits of the masculine energy? That's what you're going to get back. So you're learning how to surrender your ego and let the universe bring you to a spiritual fulfillment that you can receive, okay? What can you look forward to once this obstacle is removed? It's the Empress and the Emperor. And they're both in reverse. And the reason they're both in reverse in this particular instance is because there's movement here. When these are upright, this is a fixed and rigid energy. There's a waiting energy going on in the Empress, like waiting for her. She's gestating. She's waiting for something to come into material. She's abundant. She's creative. She's fertile, obviously, because she's gestating this thing. But she has to just kind of wait it out. And she's not moving. She's fixed on her throne. She also doesn't really need to move. People bring things to her. She doesn't really have to do anything. So Divine Feminine is looking forward to finally being able to get up from that throne. And look at this. 7 of Wands. Here it was, manifesting, this is how our obstacle was manifesting in our 3D. We were not standing our ground, right? We're not standing our ground against this King of Wands. We're just kind of letting him run willy-nilly all over us. This Empress is not going to be waiting. She's going to be standing her ground. She's going to take that current energy where she's not standing up for herself and start to really insist upon, first of all, look at, this is her pushing this darkness away and revealing what is here. This fire. This is her fire. This is her fire. You can see that. There it is right there at the center of this card. And it's her revealing her own energy and standing her ground as this Empress. All right, let's take a look at Divine Masculine's obstacles. His obstacles I completely understand. All right, in the headspace we're using the Housewives Tarot today, and the heart space we're using the Tattoo Tarot. So first let's look at the general energy for Divine Masculine. Generally, what is he feeling right now? He's feeling really impatient. This is the Temperance card in reverse. Really impatient, really imbalanced in regards to the Queen of Cups. Our feminine, who's been over here doing what? His job. And is being reactive. This is emotional reactivity. This is his own feminine energy too. Remember, this is his heart space. So he is himself impatient with himself. He's impatient with his own emotional reactivity. He's impatient with his feeling that he has trouble navigating these emotions. He's impatient that he doesn't have his Queen of Cups at his side when he wants her to be at his side. And he's impatient with the Queen of Cups for being emotionally manipulative. And we know that she is because of this. Trying to control the forward motion towards this harmony. Trying to push this in the direction where she wants it to go. Divine Masculine is like, not loving the feeling. He's like, let me be the King of Wands for you. Let me take this action. Meanwhile, Feminine's like, bitch, you're never gonna do what I want. I'm defeated by this. I've been waiting. I've been fucking waiting all the time, right? I've been standing here waiting. So somebody's gotta be the fucking King of Wands, right? That's the feeling Divine Feminine has. Divine Masculine is like, give me the time that I need. And I will do this thing. So there's impatience from him, his general energy. And it's with himself too, not just with the feminine energy. Here's the obstacle. And I can't really make it up. It's the Two of Swords. This is such a layered obstacle. First of all, we've got a feminine energy here with the 2 swords, blocking him, okay? Rude Paulos, putting the T out there. Girl, this is how Divine Masculine is perceiving you. His obstacle is literally you blocking every single means, not seeing him, looking only within yourself, right? And he's also feeling like you're going to carve him up. He's afraid of this energy, does not love it. But remember, this is his own feminine inside of himself, not just the specific iteration, not just me. This is him standing there, blocking, looking inside of himself for answers, and preparing to carve up this turkey, dish it out. But he's just standing there. He's just standing there. And he's just standing there because his perception of Divine Feminine is she's emotionally reactive right now and potentially emotionally manipulative. So his obstacle is standing here, and then here's the 6 of Wands. How is the 6 of Wands an obstacle? Look at the obstacles today. Harmony and motion, victory and inaction. His obstacle is his inability to experience this victory with Divine Feminine. He's trying to, and he cannot. Let's find out why. Because Lord have mercy, we're sick of this. All right, let's see. Where did the block originate? In the headspace, we have the Queen of Cups upright. In the heart space, we have the 10 of Cups. Look at that. This block originates from the Divine Feminine and this desire here for this spiritual fulfillment, this, and also his desire for her. So this to me, remember that the Tattoo Tarot has 6 earlier iterations of cards, and this is the 4th drawing. So I know for sure there's another version of the 10 of Cups inside of the Tattoo Tarot, but it didn't come out today. The earlier version came out. The earlier version. And this Queen of Cups, I believe, is a past energy. It's a combination. The thing is, Divine Feminine is his Queen of Cups, right? But he's impatient with her right now and also afraid of her. Emotional manipulation and reactivity. It's reminding him of someone else, okay? It's reminding him of this past energy. Woo, my ego is so fucking triggered right now because I'm like, bitch, I did not want him to feel that way. But of course you're gonna have things about you and the person that you are wanting to draw in. Of course there's going to be patterns that are cycles that are repeating. The whole point of this union is to heal these wounds. So Divine Feminine, we know that you've been emotionally reactive, and we know that you've been pushy based on your obstacle. And so for Divine Masculine, this fear that he has right now of moving towards his victory comes from how he experienced behavior like this in the past. He's really afraid of it happening again. So how is this manifesting in current reality? The 7 of Pentacles in the heart space and the Hierophant in reverse in the head space. So this obstacle is most likely this last iteration that he had of a family. This could be family and children, an ex-wife, something like that. If we're not dealing with a masculine that has a past family like that, then we're looking at, it could be maternal energy. It could be his family, like his childhood. his mother, but something about how he was raised, how he grew up, and the way that he handles situations and feelings and emotions, this comes from the past. And so how it's manifesting right now is we're seeing the Seven of Pentacles, which is this need. He's being patient and awaiting the outcome of this releasing of limiting beliefs. So he is releasing. This could be a marriage contract. The Hierophant sometimes represents a marriage, so it could be a divorce that's taking place, or has taken place, and it's like the waiting now to accrue abundance because of the damages that were done. It could be there was a belief system in place, a really limiting belief system, a religious belief system, just the beliefs you were raised with. But he's working on releasing these. He's patiently nurturing and doing this self-care and really working to release these things that are keeping him in this Two of Swords energy, which is lovely. That's really good. What will help him remove this obstacle? What will help you, Divine Masculine? We are getting the Nine of Swords, and we are getting the Nine of Cups. So it's really lovely to see this here today. This is definitely, when you get this in a spread, whether it's upright or in reverse, you are going to get the desires of your heart. You're going to get wish fulfillment here. So just as an aside to the reading, this is a positive sign. Also, the fact that it's fallen in this position where we have a 9 and a 9, significant as well. And what will help him remove these obstacles is to face his fears about his wish fulfillment. He is afraid that he's not going to get his wish. And that fear itself is really blocking him. That is what is making him be in this standstill. Because you're only in a standstill. You only try to block someone or something when you're afraid of the way it's going to make you feel, okay? He's afraid of this Queen of Cups outpouring, the emotions. He's afraid of telling her, I'm sorry, and having her break down in front of him. He's afraid of his own inner feminine breaking down in front of her. He's afraid of her, he's afraid of the victory itself that's here. This is the thing. What is the obstacle for feminine? The actual fulfillment. What is the obstacle for masculine? The actual victory. The thing that you desire is what your obstacle is. Because at the end of the day, as much as you want me to tell you when you come here, oh, the reason that this thing isn't happening is because of these outside influences. I can never tell you that, because that is never true. Never. There's no one keeping you from this victory and fulfillment but yourself. Both of you. That's your obstacle. You're afraid of what you want. So Divine Masculine has to face these fears and trust in his wish fulfillment. He also needs to stop hoarding and being greedy. And the only reason he's doing that is because of his fears. So he needs to stop hoarding. Who or what should he release to move on? Jesus Christ. The Four of Cups in reverse and the Seven of Cups upright. So, let's take a look. This is an interesting Four of Cups. We see this feminine energy presented with this beverage. Looks pretty intoxicating. And she's had all these empty cups here before her. And she looks kind of surprised, right? It's like, I didn't even know this was here, sort of a experience that we're seeing her. And it's not the most welcoming either. It's sort of like, what do I do with this kind of a image that I'm getting from this? And then we're getting a reversal on it. Now the Four of Cups is a card about meditation, grounding in nature, not, kind of not noticing that you're being offered this cup. But in this case, she notices, right? She sees it. This is also a card about fantasy versus reality. And Divine Masculine really needs to release this fantasy that Divine Feminine is going to choose someone else. There also might be a snake-like energy that he had from his past, because this is in a place that I would consider past placement, right below this past Queen of Cups and this the past iteration of the Ten of Cups. So there could be also an option that he still has that he needs to release. But really, I feel like he is fantasizing about all of the options Divine Feminine has that she could choose instead of him. Because this is also about decision making, right? Worrying about what choice Divine Feminine will make. So he needs to release this fear and anxiety in regards to this energy. And he also needs to release the energy of the pause itself. It's time to ground the union, bro. It is past time. What can I learn from this current pause? The Hanged Man in reverse, which we already saw over here, the Divine Feminine side. And the Queen of Swords in reverse. What can you learn? Divine Masculine, look at this. This is giving you the opportunity to suspend yourself and see things from the perspective of Divine Feminine, right? So you have the opportunity right now to be empathetic to her and understand what causes Queen of Swords behavior. What causes her to go into this defensive mode? What causes her to be cutting or wounding or icy or cold to you? This is your opportunity to gain the perspective. Because being stuck like this for years is pretty fucking uncomfortable for you and for her, especially when you hold the victory there as your obstacle. It's right there. And then finally, what can I expect? What can I look forward to once this obstacle is removed? Stop. The Ten of Pentacles. If you can remove this obstacle of not doing anything, of not making a choice to share this victory with the Divine Feminine, you can have everything you've ever fucking wanted. There it is, right there. And it's all yours. If you can release these behaviors and move on from this obstacle. And we're getting Temperance in reverse, but it's not here for the same reason that it was here in reverse in the headspace. Actually, I'll take that back. What's really fascinating to me is that the current energy came out in this what will happen type of thing, which is also like it's happening already right now. It's like, what can I expect? You can expect what's happening right now. Now, it's not the imbalance or the impatience. The reason why this card is in reverse is because the other meaning of of Temperance has to do with this 5D energy, where there's this angelic presence kind of protecting the union, and it's one that is ethereal, right? It is not in this dimension. It is another in an energetic way. And this is coming out of this energetic only and becoming material. I mean, do it, okay? Just do it. Do what the cards say today. That's all I can tell you. All right, Divine Feminine, you got a butt ton of oracles. You need a lot of help. So let's get started. You are in the light attributes of the slave, which is surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, which is what you're learning from this current moment, Divine Feminine. I'm so proud of you because you're learning this lesson. This didn't come out in reverse. You're like, I have to stop taking action and sending messages. I have to stop trying to control the outcome here. It is not my business. I'm doing my business. My business is to do my healing work, not to strategize how to make this shit happen. It is not my job. And she knows it. You're receiving this support from St. Christopher for safe travel and Saint Bernadette for speaking your truth. It looks like you are moving into a position where you can be able to finally speak and converse. And you're being supported in this movement. And we know there's movement because we got the Chariot and we got the 8 of Wands. You are safe in this in this move into speaking your truth. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid discomfort. Look at this. Dreams and the Tower. This is this card. A deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. This will help you remove this obstacle of trying to manipulate the outcome of your spiritual fulfillment. Just being comfortable in the discomfort. Understanding that you get deeper meaning and personal growth from being uncomfortable, and it's your job to navigate the discomfort and trust and have faith. Oneness is my true nature. I am not alone. I am in oneness with all things. Look at travel. Good morning. This is forward motion. This is moving. That's 2 cards in the oracles about travel, and this had an emphasis on it. And it's interesting because if your obstacle is pushing, if there's this motion forward and your obstacle is that you're pushing towards this, you're trying to make this happen, and this card is coming up in reverse, it's that same kind of message. There's movement and motion here. Don't resist it and don't push it. This is a time for healing, right? Take this opportunity of this pause where you are learning to surrender your control and do the healing that is necessary for you to move forward. And my ego is like, because I started my subconscious reprogramming work last year. And so my ego was like, I don't want to do it anymore. How can I not be healed enough? I'm not healed enough. I need to get healed more. Like, that's how I feel. Like, fuck that. You gotta release that resistance, because you're not ever gonna be in a place for a long time probably where you don't have work to do. The truth is, most of us that are in this collective have experienced trauma when we were young. Most of us in the world have experienced trauma when we were young. It is vital if you want to be successful in your endeavors and feel whole and be able to enjoy this spiritual fulfillment, not as an obstacle, but as the fulfillment of your desires. You must heal these wounds. There's just nothing else to do. And you keep thinking, oh, if I send the right message to Divine Masculine, if I put the right image up on Instagram, if I create the right thing with the right messages for him, if I do this, if I do that, then, but those things that you're doing, none of that is working, because none of that is why Divine Masculine isn't here. He's not here because you didn't send a pretty enough picture. He's not here because you didn't send a beautiful poem. He's not here because you didn't spend hours and hours and hours looking at his pictures. He's not here because you're not focusing on your own healing. And some of us are even doing the healing so we can help out Divine Masculine. It's like, well, I'm going to do my healing and then Divine Masculine get better. That's okay. If you need to use Divine Masculine as your motivation to heal, go ahead. I just posted that on my account today. I follow this really great account. I can't think of the name, but they always post this amazing mental health information. And he said today, there are times in my life when I hated myself. And when people say, well, you need to get healthy for yourself, when you hate yourself, how are you going to fucking do that? So sometimes it's appropriate to heal for someone else, because sometimes you're so broken and wounded inside that that's what you have to do to be healed. But then what happens? As you start to heal yourself for someone else, you start to become whole. And as you start to become whole, you start to heal for yourself. So it's okay if you're doing this work so that you can manifest Divine Masculine. But until your motivation and your goal is truly about your own oneness inside of self and your own healing inside of self, you won't see Divine Masculine. And that's okay, because you shouldn't until this healing is done for you, because energetically the same thing is taking place for him. And when you come together, you will be on the same page. It requires time. Your dreams need a practical plan. Here's the dreams. This is what will help you remove your obstacle. Giving your dreams a practical plan, making it happen. For a long time, many of you have not been pursuing your dreams. Instead, you've been pursuing someone else's dream. Either for the company you work for, or for the masculine in your life that you were doing things for, or for your parents, or for society. Whatever dreams you had, they seemed too big, too much, too impossible. And so, rightly so, to protect yourself, you shrunk them down. You shrunk them down until they were just memories of what you would play when you were little, you know. Just the fun shit you would do when you were a kid. That's all they are. And some people can't even remember that. There are times when I would drive for Lyft and I always ask people, hey, what's your passion? Because it's my passion to inspire other people to theirs. And there were so many people, I could almost cry, feel emotional about it. They couldn't even remember what they played when they were little. And those people might not have ever played. Like, there's childhoods that no one would want to have. But in every childhood, no matter how bleak, there is a place that we escape to. And there's a passion and a dream there. And it's time now as an adult to make it real. And to embrace that there is a divine plan here. There is a reason for this inspiration drawing you towards this thing. You can't understand. You're like, why? Why do I want this? It's so hard. It's so difficult. Everybody says that when, this should be easy, and it's not. Why is it like that? It's because there is a divine plan here for you to come to this knowledge of yourself and understand and heal within yourself. And then we're getting vulture spirit in reverse. Nothing is wasted. And we're going to look at the protection message from the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle deck. She just writes the most beautiful messages. The protection message is, do you wish you could run away from your past or deny your mistakes? Not so fast, says Vulture Spirit. You've gained something valuable from the experience. Let your grief or anger move through you, and soon your emotions will transform, for you will come to see that you have learned and grown. The alchemy of transformation is a gift from Spirit, so never disown what embarrassed, disappointed, or shamed you. It will soon be a source of great wisdom and strength as you work with the magic that allows miracles to be created out of sadness and beauty to arise from ugliness. Vulture Spirit wants you to know that you embody beauty, and the alchemical transformation of the past is happening already. Hang in there. You are so loved, and so much beauty is waiting to come out of all this. So if you're feeling embarrassed, Divine Feminine, after getting this reading, and being like, shit, my obstacle is that like I sent these messages and I'm like pushing, and you feel kind of embarrassed that you've done that or something like that, it's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. It was part of the divine plan, and you are only mirroring inside of you what is already inside of divine masculine. So there is a complete understanding there, and you don't need to be embarrassed. All right, divine masculine, let's dig in for you. You are in the shadow attributes today of the rescuer, which is assuming that the rescued will reciprocate and keeping the rescued one needy. You need to provide strength and support to others in crisis, and you need to act out of love with no expectation of reward. So you are continuing these patterns of codependency, either with divine feminine or with this feminine energy and family energy that is in this past placement, that is where the block originates. And you need to really come into the light, provide strength and support to others in crisis. Right now, divine feminine is in crisis, right? You need to provide strength and support, and you need to do that with no expectation of a reward. The reward is love. Love is the reward. Voldemort didn't believe it. Look how that turned out for him. Your guardian angel is here to support you in this pause, in this time of reflection about how the things that you do, the actions that you take, remember this is keep feminine. I know we're talking about masculine energy right now, but doesn't that sound familiar? Because what was your obstacle? Taking actions, trying to control the outcome of your fulfillment, right? Y'all are the same. Y'all are the same. Sometimes you even all have the same cards, and you did have a lot of same cards today. In this pause, you are gaining the ability to appreciate, to really align with love, and your guardian angel is supporting you here. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Holy moly, that's this Queen of Cups card in reverse. Do you hear that, divine masculine? The healing occurs when you give yourself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the trigger. So you have to let yourself feel these feelings. They will not kill you. They will make you stronger. Embrace this empowerment right now. Embrace this Empress energy. And this is also, the divine feminine energy, the feelings that you allow yourself to feel, that is what gives you power. It's the people in this world who are disconnected from themselves that do not function properly. Go back over your life. Look at the people who have caused trauma to you. Were they connected to their feminine side? Were they connected to their masculine side? Were they in balance? No, they are not. When you look at the legislation in our government, you can tell that there's an imbalance a lot. There's a desire to appease the material concerns with disregard for the spiritual ones. And it's the sickness of the spirit that damages all of our society. The people that are in power, that are extremely greedy, those people are disconnected from their feelings. The people that are at the bottom, experience all of the trauma, they're disconnected from their action, from their intellect. They're stuck in their feelings. The people who stormed the White House, those were people completely imbalanced, emotionally reactive, disconnected from their intellect. And the people that aren't responding to all of the trauma that we're experiencing that's emotionally disconnected. Being connected to your feminine energy is what makes you strong. 2 towers, not 1, but 2 in the moon card. 2 aspects of self become 1, but both need to be in their power, and they need to be equivalent. Your head is not better than your heart. Your heart is not better than your head. But together, you are a force to be reckoned with. In imbalance, you can't accomplish anything worth throwing a stick at. Conclusions are within reach, and there's an emphasis here, which to me is, they're here. We see them. Look at, the obstacle is the conclusion. The obstacle right now is the fucking conclusion. You just are afraid, both of you. So don't sit there thinking, oh no, it's not happening. It's already happened. You're just afraid of it. That's it. You actually have it right now. It's here. But don't worry, because you're getting this again. Your hard work is paying off. And then Divine Masculine, this card, your obstacle is the 2 of Swords. This is a card about waiting, postponing, right? Hoping the divine's gonna make a decision for you. You like those? You like the tower moments? Do you like those? Because you're gonna get it if you're stuck in this energy for long enough. And right now the divine is telling you with this card in its reversal, do not wait. Do not postpone. Do not pause. Do not say no. This is so important. This is negating the negation. Do not wait anymore, but make this decision. Look what the outcome is. Do you believe in my messages? I do. If you believe in my messages, I showed you what the outcome is here. Do not wait for that outcome. Grab it. Crow Spirit. Co-create with Spirit. This is the 17 card. It is the Oracle message. As you look around you, can you sense the magic that pulses through the world? Have you witnessed how every thought can become a thing? How every intention can call the universe into action as the sacred laws shape what you experience? The universe works in perfect order. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with Spirit, you will want to crow with delight, feeling the excitement and wonder of being in harmony with something much larger than yourself. Crow Spirit says you are right on target now to see your dreams magically come into being in the visible world. The laws of abundance, compensation, frequency, and praise are operating in your favor now. Remember to be grateful and praise what is yours, even if it is still coalescing into form, still residing in the invisible realms of co-creation. No matter what area of your life you're concerned with now, what you hope for is on its way. There's the wish fulfillment right above the 10 of Pentacles, 9 and then 10. For Spirit is your co-creation partner. Don't wait. It is here and it is available for you today. All right, bottom of the deck for the divine couple. These are the things you are in union in regards to. Oh, this applies to me so much. Okay. You're in the shadow attributes of the poet. Both of you. You are turning a lyric gift to negative or destructive effect. And you must express soul insights in symbolic language. But you know, what I'm seeing is this card for Divine Feminine where she's like needing to release this hiding energy. Divine Feminine hides her feelings and emotions in this lyric gift. Divine Masculine does the same thing. This is beautiful. You're very creative. You have a great, you do a great fucking job of expressing soul insights in symbolic language. Good for you. Now stop. Stop. No more. If you want to talk to each other, you fucking talk to each other. That's it. No more messages, right? Divine Feminine. If you're not speaking directly, there's no speaking. This is hugely emphasized because you're both terrified. Your guardian angel is here to support you in being brave. Your obstacle today for both of you is the victory and the spiritual fulfillment. And you're just afraid of it. And that's all. And you both are. You both are. You're like, I'm not afraid. Divine Masculine's afraid. Or, I'm not afraid. Divine Feminine's afraid. No. No. Because these messages come out for the both of y'all. And you both need to be brave right now. Hiding behind lyrics is not brave. It's not. It gives you an out. It lets you cloud your meaning. It's not clear. Happiness is my birthright. And I'm gonna cross this out and write contentment. Because I think happiness and sadness are so valuable, equally valuable. I think that this is a spectrum of emotion. So I'm gonna take issue here with Gabrielle Bernstein's card and say contentment is your birthright. Contentment is allowing the divine plan to take place, knowing, trusting, having faith that the times when you feel sadness or loss are just as valid as the times that you feel extremely happy. Contentment is your birthright. Hold this vision. You have a vision of this manifestation. Both sides of self are in union in regards to this vision. Both sides of self want the same thing. Hold that vision. Protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You are protected, but you need to maintain these boundaries. You need to continue to maintain boundaries, healthy boundaries with each other and with those around you that are having opinions. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? How many fucks do I give? 0 about what people think about this at this point. I have bared my soul. I have said who my DM is to people unapologetically. Because I feel that only my feelings about it are important. And other people's ideas are not. Because I'm trusting my own intuition and my own intellect and my own discernment. That's important here. But definitely maintain these healthy boundaries with one another and in terms of the people around you. Oh, I love this card. We're getting Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide, and we're getting the protection message. And this is a 10. This is a completion. When Buffalo Spirit visits you with the message of protection, he is asking you to shift your thinking from poverty consciousness to one where you trust the universe will provide. Have you been falling into financial insecurity, worrying that there will not be enough money in the future? Red to filth. Have you been stressing and feeling sorry for yourself, worrying that because you have no romantic relationship now, you will never have one? Red to filth. Do you see scarcity where there is, in fact, abundance? Are you comparing yourself to others and falling short? Self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduce you into darkness. Buffalo Spirit nudges you to make a gratitude list and be mindful of your thoughts at this time. Even if outer events have happened to challenge your beliefs in abundance, outer conditions are temporary. If you are suffering from the malaise of fear that you are impoverished, realize that it is only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with your higher power, and gratitude, coupled with compassionate, selfless service, will snap you right out of it. Give to someone who has less than you. Be thankful for the tiniest things and say affirmations. then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. Now, I have a song called Bison and Butterfly, and I always think of that whenever I see this buffalo spirit. All right, let's pull the last energy for what we can do just for today to help us with these obstacles we just found out about, which, Lord up in heaven, I'm not surprised, but also WTF. Okie dokie. Let us see. Divine Feminine. First, here, let me shuffle these cards. Please like, subscribe, share, click on the link in my bio to be able to view these readings on YouTube if you don't want to watch the hour plus readings here on Instagram, since it's annoying. I usually try to post them to YouTube as long as Instagram lets me download it. So you can find that in my link in my bio if you're on Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, below in the description box, there is links to my Patreon. There's also a wish list on Amazon for just cards that return over there, for decks I'm calling in to change up the imagery on my page and allow for even more messages to come through. If you want to send me a deck, you can click that link in the description box to see all of the decks that I'm calling in. And if you join my Patreon, you have access to 3 additional readings per month that help you with your whole month, planning your whole month. And every 2 weeks, you get a check-in and planning for the next 2 weeks and daily activities you can do every day. And there's also going to be content from my music because I'm releasing music over the next few months, and it's very exciting. Okay, that's all. Let's now close out this reading. Divine Feminine, what do you need to do today to remove this obstacle? Nurture a child and new love. So, if you have a child, which I do, you might focus some of your energy today on nurturing that child, because we were called to do acts of service by the Buffalo Spirit card, understanding that when we provide love, we receive love. And if you're looking to receive love in terms of this manifestation, go love. Doesn't matter who you love. You can love anyone. If you have a child, go love a child. If you do not have a child, or even if you do, this is a call to nurture your inner child. To nurture your inner child with love and care. And to do that healing of the inner child that you are resisting, this behavior you need to release. So it might be good to do some inner child work today. If you don't have a modality for that, there's a couple of options. HowToManifest.com is one that I use frequently. Take it with a grain of salt. Remember, any of these modalities are not religious commands. You should always just, get what resonates. Just like in my readings, if things don't resonate, it's not for you. If I'm saying something and you're like, well, that's not really applying to me, that means it's not for you. If I'm saying something and you get a little bit triggered and you're like, that's not about me, that might be about you, just saying. But just like you do with readings, do the same thing with anything like that. Because Lacey Phillips has a lot of great ideas, but she's just a person and she's flawed. But the program she has is worth exploring. And there are other options like this. In therapy, there's internal family systems. That's a good one. But if you don't want to go outside of yourself, you just want to rely on your own self, go into a meditation, reflect in the meditation when you start to feel relaxed and comfortable, and start to bring up memories from childhood. If you're feeling triggered, try to find that wound. And then try to give yourself what your inner child needed. Imagine yourself caring for yourself in such a way, etc. So do inner child work of some kind. New love. This is a renewal of love for self or for an iteration, or it could be welcoming in new love. But remember, your obstacle is this harmony. And so I really think that when we looked at what will help us remove this obstacle, it was new love, which might cause a tower moment, honestly. But that's exactly what is needed. So focus on new love today, whatever that means for you. It can mean someone new that's not a specific iteration. It can. And it can mean learning how to renew your love for that other iteration. I don't think it does, though. I think it means you need to heal your inner child wounds today. Work on those inner child wounds and welcome in new love. Divine Masculine. You need to do today. You're getting this cassette tape, which is outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and 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 okay. Stop doing that. How do you stop doing that? Well, you have to distract yourself. One really easy, quick solution to this is going to sleep. If you can get yourself to fall asleep no matter what time of day, even if you're like, if I sleep this long, I won't sleep tonight, trust me. If you're overthinking, go to sleep if you can. If you can't actually go to sleep because you're overthinking, take a sleeping aid. Smoke some indica. If you need advice on what'll put you out, ask me because I know. Use whatever you can to sleep. It's one of the best solutions to overthinking. Another thing is to distract yourself with things that you know will require a lot of focus. So, things like Sudoku puzzles or games, things that are fully immersive so that you really aren't thinking all the time about what you're about what's bothering you, because you're manifesting that. And then you're getting this coffin card in reverse. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, and transition. So stop resisting this transition. I know for a fact that my DM's astrology has him in transition until October. So the masculine energy here is really transforming. And if you think about yourself as a feminine that's balancing masculine energy inside of self, think about it. You haven't been interacting with your masculine energy much in yourself, right? That requires action. That requires that you're like, that's head over heart. There has been a lack of engagement between your heart and your head. So you're transitioning too. Don't think about this as only applying to a specific iteration of a masculine energy. This is your energy. Go to sleep. And embrace this transition. Stop resisting it. Stop resisting this change. It's not serving you. And the bottom of the deck for both of you, you can't run from this. And date. Meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, planning and setting a date. So Divine Feminine, you can't run from this, so don't try. Oh, look at right underneath was dreams. Which you got 3 times. You can't run from your dreams. You can't run from what it is you desire. And Divine Masculine, you need to set a date. You need to plan a date. You need to take Divine Feminine on a motherfucking date. You gotta get together, meet and converse. You can't run from this. Alrighty. I do hope that was helpful to you today. Thank you so much for joining me here on Tuned in Tarot. I shall see you on Friday morning for our... So, sorry, I got a phone call from my bassist. So the way that this works is you are... On Wednesdays, we do the obstacles removed. And then on Fridays, we're going to be doing, for the feminine side, we're going to do the Empress spread, which is releasing. And on the masculine side, we're going to do the Emperor spread, which is rebuilding. So we're going to look at how can we release properly, how can we rebuild properly, and then we'll check in on Sunday with Grace Strega to look at the 2 energies and see where we're at. And we'll start again the next cycle next week. Thank you so much for being here today. I do love seeing all of my regulars, and I appreciate your support so much. I do thank you, all of you, for your support. For those of you who send me gratuities on my Venmo, which is so kind. For those of you who subscribe to Patreon, all of the ways that you help, just watching, sharing, everything. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you, and I hope you all have a really nice day today. I have to call my bassist back. He's supposed to come over at 2:30. I don't know what that's about, so I'm going to call him right back now. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.